Greetings, Planeteers, and welcome back to Sci-Fi and More. I'm your host, Mike Cosmos, and I would like to start by thanking everyone that has watched and liked our videos. And a big thanks to those that have subscribed to the channel. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, and don't forget to like and share this video, and be sure to smash that bell for alerts. And please continue to let us know in the comments below if there is anything particular you would like to see. For this episode, we wanted to dedicate this video to honor a request from a few of our Planeteer subscribers to cover a movie that came out of the discussions from our previous video, the top 10 sci-fi movies of the 1950s. And if you haven't seen that video, I've posted the link in the description below. So with that said, let's take a journey together and visit the creativity of This Island Earth. This Island Earth is a science fiction movie that came out in 1955. It was such an astonishing achievement for its time. The best description for the movie is that it was essentially the Star Wars of the 1950s. This Island Earth gained popularity for introducing strange and epic effects. Made during the Cold War era, the movie showcased technological advancements, UFOs and aliens, and in the mid-1950s, This Island Earth was one of the most ambitious and visually stunning science fiction movies created by Universal International Pictures, who commissioned an impressive $800,000 production budget for the 2.5 years of making the film. A budget of this amount in 1955 was unheard of. However, the gamble that Universal had taken had paid off, and the film was a huge commercial success at the box office, earning more than $1.5 million and becoming one of the top-grossing films of 1955. The movie was based on the 1952 novel of the same name, written by Raymond F. Jones, and the screenplay was written by Frank Cohen and Edward G. O'Callaghan. The film was made by Universal Pictures and was directed by Joseph M. Newman. In terms of cinematic influences, the movie was made during a time when science fiction films were growing in popularity, with the success of films like 1951's The Day the Earth Stood Still and 1953's War of the Worlds. This created a catalyst in science fiction films for great inspiration for many filmmakers to explore the science fiction genre. The film's visual effects were another major influence for the filmmaking industry. The special effects were created by the legendary team of Clifford Stein and David Horsley, who had previously worked on classics like 1933's King Kong and War of the Worlds. And with the advantage of the use of color film, this added a new dimension to the overall effect of the film and was another significant factor in making this movie just visually spectacular. Ultimately, This Island Earth remains a fascinating example of the golden age of sci-fi cinema, blending futuristic fantasy with Cold War fears and social aspirations. It's a classic that deserves to be rediscovered on its own terms, and appreciated for the adventurous spirit and imaginative scope. Finally, the movie was also influenced by the cultural and political climate of the time. The Cold War with the Soviet Union was in full swing, and many films of this era reflected the tension with tales of invasion and danger from unknown powers. The scientists of This Island Earth worked together to save the world from aliens, and this cooperation and triumph may have been a comfort to audiences in a time of uncertainty. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The story follows two Earth scientists who are recruited by an advanced extraterrestrial race to help them fight against an enemy from another planet. In the middle of the Cold War, nuclear physicist Dr. Cal Meacham, played by Rex Reason, receives a strange package containing instructions for building a complex electronic device from an unknown sender. Following the instructions to the letter, Cal and his team put together the Interocitor, which turns out to be a communication device with advanced technology that permits communication with beings from distant planets. Cal and his team are then summoned to the planet Metaluna, which is facing destruction from a civilization known as the Zygons. While they travel to Metaluna via a flying saucer, Cal and his associate, Ruth Adams, played by the actress Faith Demergue, face unseen challenges that put their lives at risk. Upon arriving on the planet, our protagonists discovered that they have been recruited to offer technical assistance to the Metalunan society. Their ultimate task is to develop and deploy a potent energy source that could counter Metaluna's doom. Now, some of the attributes of this island Earth that make it special and stand out within the science fiction genre is that the movie had exquisite visual effects for the time. This island Earth boasted glorious sets, scenery, props, and costumes that made the movie visually appealing. The daring camera work in the movie remains memorable to this day and added to the overall over-the-top ambience. There was also a thrilling blend of science fiction and horror. The movie was a perfect synthesis of traditional science fiction and the horror genre. In an era where moviegoers were yearning to see new scares and unexpected shock script resolutions, this island Earth helped in channeling that demand. And we also get to see the introduction of aliens with cerebral displays. I mean, how cool is that? The science fiction movie is renowned for introducing aliens with a unique brain display appearance. This idea became so popular during that time that other sci-fi movies in the 1950s and the 1960s began to borrow this idea heavily for use in their own development. Additionally, there was an artistic dimension of creating an alien vocabulary or alien language. Now, introducing a new language into a science fiction movie or show is something that has become somewhat mainstream in the genre today. Probably the best known language that has been developed for science fiction was the Klingon language, developed by Mark Okrand, a linguist who was hired to invent more Klingon words for Star Trek III: The Search for Spock, which featured the Klingons prominently. Mr. Okrand was quoted as saying, "The producers wanted it to sound like a real language, and I thought that to make it sound like a real language, it had to be a real language." Now, this ultimately led to an expanded and complete language for the Klingons and the development of the Klingon dictionary, first published in 1985. However, in the case of this island Earth, it was a fairly new concept, and the creation and the use of the alien tongue added to the unique aspect of this island Earth. Conversations between the characters and the Metalunans held a great deal of wonder and mystery, elements that left moviegoers talking about what they had just seen for days after watching the movie. One of the greater challenges for the production of this island Earth was the Metalunan mutant suit worn by actor Regis Parton. Firstly, the design in the costume was intricate and cumbersome. The creature had a large head with a thin, glowing cranium and elongated hands, making mobility and facial expressions limited. Not to mention, the suit became very hot, much like the early Godzilla suits. While the Godzilla suits were eventually upgraded to include internal air conditioning for the safety of the actor inside, this was not the case for Parton and the Metalunan mutant suit. These challenges posed issues for Parton to convey emotion and physicality through the heavy prosthetics, requiring him to rely heavily on body language and vocal intonation. The Metalunan mutant's dialogue was delivered through a synthesizer, which altered Parton's voice and further complicated the task of expressing emotions convincingly. The actor had to carefully coordinate his movements and timing to match the artificiality of the character's voice. Furthermore, the film's special effects and visual techniques during that time were relatively primitive compared to modern standards. Hardin had to act against, well, basically a backdrop since green screens didn't exist yet, and then interact with imaginary creatures and environments, requiring a great deal of imagination and improvisation on his part. Aside from the Metalunan mutant, the movie had other significant impacts on the sci-fi genre, such as helping to shape the realm of sci-fi as we know it today, with heavyweights like Steven Spielberg, who filmed Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and James Cameron, who directed Terminator. And let's not forget, George Lucas stated that they used this island Earth as a reference tool for Star Wars. The movie also pioneered biotransmitters, which have become modified into the modern-day satellite dishes. In a quote from director Guillermo del Toro, he spoke of this island Earth and said, "This movie had the most beautiful, colorful painted skies. You could tell that there was a real artistic approach to the production design." And director Joe Dante of Gremlins and The Howling said, "This is one of the first movies where the aliens are not caricatures, not monsters. They're intelligent beings and you're able to have a conversation with them. That's a really big step in the direction of the movie E.T. This Island Earth is a classic movie that offered plenty of unique special effects, over-the-top characters, and unexpected movie resolutions that audiences loved then as well as they do today. Even after 68 years in existence, the movie's charm continues to attract more fans, serving as a foundation for modern-day sci-fi movies. This can be seen as evident as the movie currently generates a 73% favorable rating on the movie review website Rotten Tomatoes, which means that the movie has aged well and still continues to provide audiences satisfaction today. This Island Earth is now considered a classic in the genre. The movie expanded the scope of possibilities within science fiction, and it achieved this by introducing complex and mind-bending concepts that were new to the genre, such as a Metaluna alien race engaged in a galactic war, and a plot involving the construction of a mysterious device called the Inner Oscillator. Furthermore, the special effects, visual design, and even acting standards for the movie elevated the filmmaking industry and have since improved notably. This Island Earth really also deserves heavy credit for serving as the inspiration for a number of significant science fiction movies, including Alien and Star Wars. The film boasted impressive production values, innovative set designs, and memorable special effects, such as the flying saucers and the alien creatures. It also tackled some serious themes, such as the risk of atomic power and the value of scientific collaboration and the danger of totalitarianism. Due to all these reasons, this Island Earth can be perceived as a landmark film in science fiction and an eye-opener to the broad spectrum of possibilities that filmmakers could incorporate into their stories within this genre. And there you have it, Planeteers. We hope you have enjoyed our video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more exciting videos, and please be sure to drop a like and share the video, and don't forget to smash that bell for alerts. And as always, you can follow us on our social media sites, on Twitter at Sci-Fi More, on Instagram at Sci-Fi and More, and on Facebook at Mike Cosmos Sci-Fi and More. I would like to also say that I am extremely appreciative of all the viewers and subscribers to our channel. And I would like to thank all of you who have commented and really created some fantastic discussions on our previous videos. The comments and discussions that I have read and responded to are proof that the love of the science fiction movies from the 1950s is alive and well and stronger than ever. We recently did a YouTube short video for this island Earth, and if you haven't seen it, I've posted the link in the description below. However, we wanted to make this video specifically because this particular movie seemed to generate a tremendous amount of favorable comments and discussions. It deserved an expanded analysis, more than a short video could ever provide. So this video is dedicated to all of you and your passion for the 1950s sci-fi films, and the fans of This Island Earth specifically. As this was one of my favorite 1950s sci-fi films when I was younger, it was a lot of fun to make this, taking me down on a journey through memory lane and brought back a lot of positive nostalgic feelings for me. And I hope this video has done the same for you. So with that said, thank you all very much for watching our video, and stay tuned, Planeteers. There is more to come. Have a great galactic day.